Hello guys, in the previous class I have explained to you about what is two different types of plant tissues, that is the xylem and the phloem. So I've explained to you what are the function of xylem and is the meaning of xylem. Xylem means a tree, okay, xylon. And now we are going to study about phloem. Phloem come from the Greek word phloios. You see this one, phloios, which means bark. In Khasi, they call it snap ding mo, nakakasing yung ka snap ding. Just by looking or knowing the meaning of this term phloem, we could understand that what kind of tissue is this, whether it is a hard or a soft tissue. And this tissues are also is also being discovered by Carl Nageli, okay. And the main function of phloem is for the transportation of minerals and food. Examples like the sucrose and the carbohydrates that are being produced during the process of photosynthesis, and that process in which the transportation of nutrients and food in the phloem, it is known as the translocation process. And now we are going to study, okay, what types of food and nutrients that this phloem transport, and what are the four types of cells that are present inside the phloem. Where will you find this? Okay, you will find these types of cells in the roots, tips, in the leaves, the fruits. Okay, these are also known as sink, S-I-N-K. So if they ask you what is the sink of a plant, so the sink of a plant, okay, you can name it root, tips, leaves, and fruits, because these are the four main types where transportation and absorption of food and water takes place, okay. And in xylem we have studied that the process of transportation is only one direction, that is only from the root tips to the leaves of the plant for the process of photosynthesis, right? It also carry only water. But in case of the phloem, okay, that direction is bidirection. That means food are being produced in the leaves, and from the leaves they are being sent to the different parts of the plant, okay, through the phloem. And then again from the roots it is also carried to different parts of the plant. That's why one is from the leaves to the roots, then again from the roots to the leaves or to the different parts of the plant. Now let us study, okay, what are the four types of cells. Okay, the four types of cells, as I've noted down here, okay, I've simplified it. We have four types of cell. That is, number one, let us study what are the four types of cell. Okay, number one is the conducting cells or the sieve elements. Now by the term conducting or conduction, it means to transport, right? So now these sieve elements, okay, they are responsible for the process of transportation of food, okay. And I've draw here, okay. Now this is the sieve element. They have the sieve plate, and then these zigzag lines, okay, these are the sieve tubes. Now transportation of foods, okay, takes place in this area, okay. This is the sieve or conducting cells, okay, as we know. This is the sieve plate. Why this? What is the figure or the structure of a plate? Once You heard the term plate. It means that it is always in shape. Okay, it is somewhat like this, and with its tiny pores or perforation. Okay, sieve in Khasi we call it as a jinjar sha. Lada pithe sha đấy nè, phía bên thân cam cái jinjar sha balai khnang ba katuka slasha kan ne ha kan ne kapok ka jar sha trong phi khnang ba shapo kan hap tang ka ma the lada pipe longitudinal section ls section pada pinyu ikum ne kalong kum ki sie ki don ki pung wi ngane sipung arpung laipung de pedang jong ki ne ki pung don ki mat dai nam kan bah ini ki phloem tissues pada don ki ne ki sieve plate bagi ong ta what are the functions of this types of cell? That is the conducting cells or the sieve element. Okay, number one, it is also used for the transportation of sucrose and carbohydrates. But remember, during the process of photosynthesis, plant produces what? The glucose, right? But here you might be surprised why they transfer or why they transport sucrose instead of the glucose, because okay, it is energy efficient. That means when you transport the sucrose, okay, that means you require less energy as compared to the glucose. So now this one, okay, now the structure of the cell, okay, the sieve tubes is like somewhat cylindrical. Okay, then now let us move to the second part or the second types of phloem cells, that is the parenchyma cells. Okay, this one also it is living. Okay, these cells, they are composed of cellulose. Okay, the function is number two is to store food. Then it contains latex, resin. Okay, now what is the function of latex? Latex, okay, it is different from the sap. This is the liquid. Okay, this latex is the color of the latex is somewhat like a milk. Okay, what is the function of this one? The main function of this one is to poison the insect that are herbivorous. That means there are those insects which destroy the plant. Okay, so with the presence of this latex, okay, the insect might not be having that taste to this one, to eat the plant. And also resin. Okay, resin is like if you cut a tree, okay, you will find out that after some times it has a drop like is being hardened. This is a resin. Okay, this one, it act like a let's say red platelets in our blood system. Okay, platelets act as the clotting of our blood. So the same thing. Okay, if you cut the tree, okay, this liquid will come out and it will become hardened, so that no further infection will enter into the plant, so that it will be protected from any further injury, to seal up the wound that you cut from the plant on the bark of the plant. Okay, and now let's move to companion cells. You see this, by the term companion we understand the meaning is friends, right? Companion means friends. So this is a function of the companion cells is for long distance transportation of food. That means, let's say there, if the height of the tree is around, let's say 60 meter, 30 meter, okay, it is difficult for the process of this one, osmosis. Okay, so with the help of these companion cells, it helps to transport the food into a longer distances from the roots to the tip of the trees or the apex. And what the function that it has is it connect to the sieve tubes. Okay, wait, I'll show you the diagram. How does it connect with the sieve tubes? You see, this is the sieve tube, right? This is the companion cells. I've told you, right? Companion means friend, so this act as a friend to the sieve tubes. So this companion cells is connected with the sieve tubes. So now, if the companion cells die, the sieve tubes also die, and if the sieve tubes also die, the companion cells also die. See, the companion cells, it have a nucleus. Okay, remember that. Now, if one die, the other also the same. Okay, I've mentioned that one. They have a nucleus. What is the function of nucleus? The function of nucleus in the companion cells. This is the function of nucleus in the companion cells is to regulate the metabolic process or the transportation of food. Okay, that is the main function of the companion cells. Also, the other one is to load and unload material. You see, it acts as a labor. I mean, a person who work. Okay, now sometimes when things needed to carry, okay, they load the things or the food material, and if they have to like reach the destination, okay, they use these companion cells to unload material. I've mentioned earlier that it control the metabolic activities, okay, process. And where will you find these types of cells? You will find this type of cells in pteridophytes. That is fern. The term pteridophytes, it means feather-like structure. If you observe a fern, okay, or in Kasi we call it terkhang mo, kani ka uneu terkhang ulong kum ka thabnyang jongka sim jongki sim dai nam takadaw ka kentian pteridophytes kami pek terkhang ulong kum ni udon wena pedang mau dingba sadan syarut kum ni dai nam sami kisla kum to nya shiliang ro kaju sami ber tu pi kilong kum kitabnyang kalong kum thabnyang jong kasiar mo tapi pek bah thi takadaw ki ang pteridophytes tom ta pada. Next, let's move to the last one, that is the supportive cells or the phloem fiber, or it sometimes is called as the bast fiber or the skin fiber. See, by the term skin you could understand that this phloem, okay, they are located outside of the xylem. Okay, I'll explain that later. Now look, what are the function? Okay, they provide strength to the stem. Okay, by the term supportive means they provide strength to the stem, and they are very thick. Okay, you will find this in the inner bark. Komod na piko kasnap jong diang day katu ka sertap ka benta ka ba shapo adu jong snap diang pinlap nya kai ya kaneka supportive cells ta, but they are non living ngalaong amne tang kini kidei ki bayap baro ki cells kidei ki ai ki ba im denam kala ada batai na du mane and also they why now the question arise, okay, why they are living and why. I'll explain to you about the bidirectional. Okay, never mind. Okay, my paper is dirty. Suppose now if you see a potato, okay, potato, everyone knows potato, right? Now if you buy a potato from the shop, it is still fresh. Okay, after sometimes if you forget to cook, what happened? It became flaccid. That means ustino denam uran lut kumne balai dapi sa si por sa khandiat por tapi bu si por unsa pensa I bami kisla denam pensa I bami kisla bami ilung nang ne sa mi sibona tendal adai ko por parjayu mi jinthung denam kisla jong phan kilong ki bahe kumne ki bacar ngam ha kamot menshop adon process of photosynthesis pat long đấy nè thì ta cái đau cảnh hạt này có por có mất transportation có mất nằm ở cái mang lại tiếp ý đây nhiều pan đều thiệt mà đều sọ nè pan đều thiệt. Okay, potato is a tubers, it is not a fruits. So first the nutrients will go from the fruits or from the roots, we can say, to the leaves. That's why this body part become flaccid kamut kini kistino hi teta manta da la he jing thung neu phan barim un jano don shu don stang wei don stang ton rai te da la dei ka por pat jayu kisdang mi berit kini ki phan kiong ki tubers ma ki bulbs kiong biu lbs ki bulbs ma hadin pa jayu ski kini ki phan ki he dainam sapoi ko por kini kisla kin yap na pi tagmot what happened, the food that is being produced inside the leaves from the process of photosynthesis, it is being produced and carried back into the roots for what? Storage. As we know that phloem, okay, it is responsible for the storage of food. Which part of the phloem tissues are responsible? Which one? It is the parenchyma cells, which are responsible for the storage of food. So it is very important. Okay. Now why I called you it is bidirection, because remember in the first time the nutrients goes from the roots to the leaves, then after the plant grows properly, then again they are being transported back into the potato. You will get a new potato. Okay, and if you cut the back of a tree, okay, suppose now this is the tree, if you cut the bark kemudian ada pikon ya kesnya macam kendiat tapi ka to kan ni pin sala bo long kom ne dai na salong kom tu ne de ding ba blek at kom ne kan ne ka pen ikan ba ki nutrients kimi nang ne dai de kan hendre kim yo ban connection ne dai na takadaw kan ne ka pen at na ya ki kom ne te ka pen na po ru ka ju ki jin bang ki kiu na thiet tang ba kim la pa de ban poi chau sla takadaw kan ne ka pen at na kom ne takadaw kan la da phi yau snap ding dam la da phi kho ja yu ding yap phi ta ka de karukom. Okay guys, so I will wind up my class here and see you on the next time. La de ka por pat ja yu kisdang mi berit kini ki phan kiong ki tubers ma ki bulbs kiong biu lbs ki bulbs ma hadin pat jayu ski kini ki phan ki he dainam sapoi ko por kini kisla kin yap na pi tagmot what happened, the food that is being produced inside the leaves from the process of photosynthesis, it is being produced and carried back into the roots for what? Storage. As we know that phloem, okay, it is responsible for the storage of food. Which part of the phloem tissues are responsible? Which one? It is the parenchyma cells, which are responsible for the storage of food. So it is very important. Okay. Now why I called you it is bidirection, because remember in the first time the nutrients goes from the roots to the leaves, then after the plant grows properly, then again they are being transported back into the potato. You will get a new potato. Okay, and if you cut the back of a tree, okay, suppose now this is the tree, if you cut the bark kemudian ada pikon ya kesnya macam kendiat tapi ka to kan ni pin sala bo long kom ne dai na salong kom tu ini ding ba